do you know? What do you know? Man, tell you what I know. I have attempted to do a video probably 4 or 5 times now, and I've just been so sick that it's been really, really hard to do. I actually did a vlog on one of my trips that I did here last week, I think it was. Was it last week? Might have been the week before, but anyway. And then I went back through the video footage on it, and like you could just tell, like I was just miserable. Like you could see it all over me. I just felt bad. And then last week I ended up losing my voice, so then it just made it really hard to try to do a video. It's been one of them couple of weeks. I say one of them weeks, it's been a couple of weeks. So I went to the doctor, what was it, the Saturday before Christmas Eve. And they had told me that I had a sinus infection. So they treated me for a sinus infection. And that Tuesday after Christmas, I grabbed a load out of Oklahoma City going to up by Casper, Wyoming. And man, oh man, hacking and coughing. Just by the time I got to Casper, Wyoming, I just felt just terrible. So I caught an Uber and went to the urgent care there in Casper, Wyoming, and they tried to tell me that I had said that I had thrush that was caused by the antibiotics and steroid that I was on. Now I'm no doctor, so the only thing I knew about thrush was that was something that I thought that babies got, you know, and they informed me that adults can get it too, you know, and I didn't think nothing of it, so I just took the prescription they gave me, went to the pharmacy, filled it, and called my wife later on, and she was all irritated with me because in her opinion thrush did not make no sense. Like, having thrush was one thing, but that's not what was wrong with me. I was clearly sick, you know. So anyway, I delivered that load in Casper and decided that I would try to get home as soon as possible. I had a load booked to pick up, and that load kind of fell through on me. That's a whole nother story, but I did end up snagging another load and then took it back to the house with me. So I was back home by Friday after Christmas, or the Friday before New Year's, whatever you want to call it. And I was home that evening, and when my wife picked me up from the truck, I had her take me straight back to the doctor's office before they shut down. By this time I had been sick for, I don't know, 10 days or something like that. So my doctor then told me that there was no reason to test me for the flu because I'd been sick for too long, so the flu wouldn't show up. Discussed testing me for COVID, but I was at the tail end of that also. It was borderline. I was 10 days in, so I mean they could test me for it. It might show, it might not show. But my thing was, whenever, you know, they were questioning whether or not to test me for it or not, I asked him, I said, well, testing me for it, is that gonna make me better? And he said, well, no, it just might explain why, which at this point he's already told me that I had bronchitis. Might explain why you ended up with bronchitis. I said, well, I don't need to know why I ended up with bronchitis. If it's not going to help me get better, then there's really no reason to test me to see if it does show or not. I didn't see no reason to let him tickle my brain, you know, if it wasn't going to make me better. Just make me better, you know. So you've already told me I got bronchitis, you know. So anyway, I had bronchitis. They put me on steroids, and a different steroid, different antibiotics. And man, it's been a rough road. It took several days to get to feeling better. But I'm finally to the point now that my throat is not so raw that I can actually talk. And I'm not hacking my head completely off. Now, I still got a pretty bad cough. And if I get out and get it stirred up, I get to hacking pretty bad, and I got to sit down and calm down and get my breath back. That was the hardest part about all of it, was I was short of breath. I was having a hard time breathing, and which had me hurting pretty bad. But so that's pretty much the reason why I hadn't done a video. You know, with the holidays and stuff, I was already planning on taking some time off, and then I got sick. But I didn't end up taking any extra days. I only took off the days that I had scheduled already. And then other than that, I still ran, which kind of brings me to my topic that I wanted to talk about today. As a lease operator, there's not really sick days. You know, you kind of got to run the days you can run, and take off the days that you have planned to take off. A lot of times, which I don't get sick very often, but when I talk about my doctor, there's an urgent care around the corner from my house. A lot of times I can't really schedule an appointment to go to the doctor because I'm only home for a couple of days. So when I get sick, I just got to go to the urgent care. You know, that's kind of how I deal with things. But like I was saying, as a lease operator, you really don't, you don't get days off, you know. And it's not necessarily just lease operators. In trucking in general, even as a company driver, you still got to get out here and run. You know, when you got a load, it's still got to be delivered on time. I was thinking about this the other day, and kind of something I think that if you want to consider getting into this, or if you want to consider being a lease operator, you kind of need to take a step back and look at yourself in the mirror a little bit and kind of decide if this is for you. Because my wife and I was talking about this, and there's people out there, and it don't matter what industry you're in. My wife's dealing with it with her work right now. There's people that can find 100 reasons not to go to work. They've got a reason to call in every other day, you know. They're always sick. They always got something going on. There's always something's always more important than going to work, you know. And in them situations, like I was explaining to her, I used to be a manager. From a management standpoint, if you're one of those kinds of people, once you're no longer reliable, your reliability, and that's no different out here in trucking. If you're not reliable, whether you're a company driver, lease operator, or an owner once you're no longer reliable, your reliability. So if you're one of them people that can always find a reason not to go to work, always got 100 reasons not to go to work, then being a lease operator is not really a gig for you. It's not going to work out in your favor at all. My wife and I, we're both the kind of people that, you know, we can find 100 reasons to go to work. You know, we don't look for reasons not to go to work. We look for reasons to go to work. You know, we have priorities. We have, you know, things that have to be taken care of. We have goals. You know, we want to accomplish things. you know. So we can always find a reason to go to work. We're never looking for a reason not to go to work. Matter of fact, not going to work is not a question. There's never a question of, my wife's the same as me. When she's sick, she goes to work. By God, they gotta send her home before she'll take a day off, you know. And the funny thing about it is my wife's job is not, we don't need it. Our family we don't need it. She doesn't have to work. She works because she chooses to. So it's always funny to me that, you know, she's got people that work with her that need jobs, you know. Single income family, you know, like there'll be ladies that work with her that they're single moms or whatever, you know, and it seems like those women don't want to go to work. They always can find a reason not to go to work. But I'm starting to ramble now, and I apologize, but I just wanted to kind of get to my point, though. Like, there's not sick days in trucking, no. And that's something that you gotta really take a step back and look at. Almost everybody knows somebody that's that way. Almost everybody knows somebody that is always calling into work. Always got a reason why they didn't go to work. And those are the same people that always have an excuse or a reason why their life sucks, you know, or why they can't get ahead, or, you know, it's always something. And if you don't know somebody like that, there's a good chance it might be you. You might want to look in the mirror. But most of us know somebody like that. Most of us know somebody that the biggest part of their life is a big excuse, a big reason, you know. They're the complainer, you know. But like I said, not meaning to ramble at all or anything, but if you're thinking about being a lease operator, you really need to take a step back and look at, because there's things that a lot of people don't think about, and if you get sick, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna handle it? I got sick, and I still ran a 1,000-mile load to Casper, Wyoming, and then picked up another load and came 1,000 miles back to the house. Trust me, it wasn't fun, but it had to get done, you know. I had already committed to it. I'd already said I would do it, and just because I got sick doesn't mean that, you know, freight stops. It's still got to move. So anyway, I won't ramble much more on the subject, but I am feeling a lot better. So I should be able to put out a couple new videos here within the next couple of days. I need to do an update video to get caught back up. We're a couple weeks behind on that. Had a pretty good week. I say a week. The 4 days that I did that load going to Casper paid pretty good, and then I was able to pick up another load. Now, I did have a lot of deadhead that week, but that's a whole nother subject. But so yeah, I need to do a video on that. But like I said, there's no sick days in trucking, and that's what I was getting at. I've sat here and rambled long enough. I just kind of wanted to touch base on that, kind of let y'all know where I was at, why I hadn't had a video out. Like I said, I tried to do several videos. A lot of times I'd get started on a video, and then I would end up in a hacking spell and coughing my head off, and it just didn't turn out very well. And then, like I said, I did a video vlog, or a load vlog, but I could tell by just looking at myself in that footage that I was miserable. I didn't feel good, and it showed. It showed in my attitude and everything. So anyway, I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all had a Merry Christmas. I hope y'all had a Happy New Year. Like always, stay safe. I appreciate y'all so very much. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. That's unreal to me. When I first started doing this, I didn't think that I'd ever have 1,000 subscribers, and here we are, almost there. So if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. I try to do videos on a regular, information videos on revenue potential with a lease truck at Landstar. I've got some previous videos of where I was at Schneider. So like I said, hit that subscribe button and continue to follow my journey, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all stay safe. Shiny side up, rubber side down. Catch y'all later.